Hi, this is Mato. Welcome to my online chess lecture. In this video I will show you a game between Nigel Short and Richard Miles. This awesome game was played in London in 1976. Nigel Short had white pieces and he started with e4. Richard Miles played d6, d4, knight to f6, knight to c3, g6, the Pirc defense. Bishop to c4, bishop to g7, queen to e2, intending e5. So if black would castle kingside, then e5. But Richard Miles played knight to c6, attacking the pawn on d4. How to defend the pawn? What would you do? Perhaps knight to f3. Looks like a sensible move. Do you agree? Nigel Short played e5. Oh man, didn't he see what the threat was? Knight takes on d4, attacking the queen. What is the best square for the queen? e3 is not the best square, is it? Because then knight takes on c2. Check, family fork. So what is the best square for the queen? Nigel Short played pawn takes knight on f6, and player with the black pieces happily capture the queen. F takes on g7, attacking the rook. Rook to g8. Knight on g takes on e2. Rook to g7. Bishop to h6, developing the bishop and attacking the rook. Bishop to g8, and Nigel Short castled queenside. e6. For a sacrificed queen, white has 3 pieces, plus better development, minus 2 pawns. The game continued. h4, controlling g5 square, and intending bishop to g5 in some variations. Bishop to d7, knight to e4, black to move, f6 was played. If bishop to c6, then bishop to g5, attacking the queen, and if queen goes somewhere, knight to f6 check is extremely unpleasant. Back to our game. f6, knight to f4, pressure is on the pawn on e6, black to move, king to f7. If queen to e7, then rook from h to e1, and black has to worry about the safety of his queen even after castling. Knight takes on e6, and after bishop takes on e6, knight to g5. To avoid this variation, king to f7, intending rook to e8. Rook from h to e1, rook to e8. Black king is relatively safe. Maybe not even relatively. Nigel Short played g4. a5. b5 maybe next, and then if bishop goes to b3, a4. So Nigel Short played a3. b5, bishop to a2, rook to e7. b4 would perhaps offer a better fighting chance, but white is still crushing on the king side with g5. Back to our game. Rook to e7. g5, f5. If f takes on g5, knight takes on g5. Check, king to g8. Knight on g takes on e6, bishop takes on e6. Knight takes on e6, and white is winning. Back to our game. f5, keeping the fire closed. What is the best square for the knight? This is not a trick question. The best square is knight to f6. The knight on f6 feels like a king, and the king on f7 feels like a horse abandoned by his master. The game continued. Bishop to c8. Knight takes on h7, c5, h5, intending to take on g6. G takes on h5, g6 check, king to g8. The knight to 10 with a check, king to h8, white played a move and black resigned, and the move is... What would you do? Nigel short played knight takes on e6, player with the black pieces resigned. For the entertainment purpose, I will show you just one line. Bishop takes on e6, rook takes on e6, rook takes rook. And now white plays the obvious. What is the obvious? g7, check, mate. And let's go back to move 7. This position was first seen 2 years before Nigel's game was played. That was a game between Kenneth McAlpine and James Lumsden. The queen sacrifice idea looks insane on the surface, but it is a brilliant idea. So, in reality, the queen sacrifice is not insane as it appears. Was Nigel aware of the game played in 1974? All I can say is, study the games of the old masters. Someday you may be able to use those ideas in your own games. And that is all. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. I wish you good luck with your chess, and bye for now.